Alright, so today we're going to be doing some ribs, kind of like a recipe I got off the Traeger app, plus some community notes, and a little bit my own twist on things. I thought I recorded me kind of prepping them, getting them on the smoker. I did not. So I'll show you kind of what I do before putting them on the smoker. I'll show you what they look like now. They've been on for about an hour. Then I'll make sure I record the rest of the process. Pretty much gonna let them smoke for 3 hours, pull them off, put a little bit more stuff on them, wrap them in foil, put them back on, take them back off, put barbecue sauce on it, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get through all that. Start off, I'll season them. I use the Redneck barbecue seasoning. This is the chicken and rib. It's local to North Carolina down here, so I use all their stuff. And then Chick-fil-A sauce. I do a good coating of Chick-fil-A sauce. Pretty much a good thick solid coating of that, so whether that all on there. Then today I tried something different. I tried this with my when I cooked the brisket. So this is just like a Carolina mustard, because the actual recipe calls for mustard. Instead I use Chick-fil-A sauce. I wanted to try this today, so you know, put some of that on one. I got 2 racks on there, so 1 of each. And yeah, I'll go show you what the ribs, what they're looking like now, about an hour so far of being smoking. So you can see they've been on for about an hour. The ones on the front here, got the Chick-fil-A sauce. The one on the back got that Carolina Carolina mustard. So let them smoke for another 2 hours, 3 hours total, and then that's when we'll pull them and wrap them and add some more secret stuff to them. Alright, the one with the Carolina mustard seemed a little dry, so what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to put brush a little bit more on it. You don't want to have dry ribs. That's a lot. That looks better. The ones with the Chick-fil-A look good. It's still moist. Alright, so we just smoked them at 180 for 3 hours. The one in the back is the one with the Chick-fil-A sauce. The one in the front here is the one with the Carolina mustard. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of Cheerwine. You can use root beer. The recipe calls for root beer. I use the Cheerwine. Then since the Cheerwine has sugar, we'll just do a little bit of brown sugar. Put it in there. We'll wrap them. The tighter you wrap them, the less tender they are. So you don't want to go too tight, but you don't want to go too loose either. Just kind of trial and error preference. So I like to do a little bit of a looser wrap to get them nice and tender. So yeah, so we'll just start prepping these, and then what we'll do is put them back on at 225 for 2 hours, and we'll go from there. Pretty much I'll just fold all this over, and I'll put one other piece over, and I use this second piece. I use the second piece kind of as how tight I'm gonna have it. So I kind of line it up, and then the tricky part is not to have the soda leak everywhere. That's why I use this heavy duty tin foil. But as you see, I don't wrap it too tight, but you can see it a bit. You know, it's firm, but at least some space in there, so it keeps them, the ribs stay and get pretty fall off the bone tender, but not like, if you do it really loose, it's a bit overkill with just how tender they are. They get almost like a little bit gooey, and that is from experience. Alright, so they're all wrapped. That's all I add to them. In the beginning, sometimes I used to do the Chick-fil-A sauce plus the plus Cheerwine, a little Worcester, however you say it. But I kind of transitioned just doing straight mustard, Chick-fil-A sauce, something like that. And then I add the soda for the tinfoil part. I think it just helps with the juiciness and tenderness. So we're gonna put these on for 2 hours at 225. Alright, so we just smoked them at 225 for 2 hours. 225 for 2 hours. So now we're just gonna put some unwrap them, put some barbecue sauce on them, and let them go for another about half hour to an hour. Kind of your personal preference. I'm using the Sweet Honey and Spice Stubbs barbecue sauce. It's sometimes I switch it up, use like a bourbon. It just really depends on the mood I'm in. But usually some type of Stubbs I use for the ribs I really like. So see all the soda and juices. You can tell they're really tender. A little hot. You can see like they're a little hot. See, they look on, you see I put a little bit extra in here on juices. So you kind of get like this texture, but that's why you put it in. I'll probably put them in instead of a half hour, more towards an hour with the barbecue sauce. Now that'll crisp them up a little bit. My hands are a mess. And this is the final step of the three. Usually leave it on the 225, but I'll probably turn it up. Maybe just like 250 to help crisp them up a little bit. You know, get that kind of help caramelize that barbecue sauce. It is a sweet honey barbecue sauce with a little spice, so we'll let that run for probably let it go for 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll pull them off from there. Alright, so we did 45 minutes at 225. No, I did bump it up to 230, I think, or something. Whatever I mentioned before, ended up bumping up to. Here's the final result. Chick-fil-A sauce one is on the right here. This is the Carolina mustard one. So overall, first step is decoding in mustard, so I use Chick-fil-A sauce. You can use mustard. I tried the Carolina mustard, so mustard variations, which is pretty much what a Chick-fil-A sauce is. Smoke that at 180 for 3 hours. Then you wrap it in foil, and you can do different. You can put more mustard on it. You can put root beer in it. I chose Cheerwine, so you can use it variations of sodas, stuff like that. Some type of liquid though. Added brown sugar. If you don't want too much sugar and you have a sugar soda, that's enough. Sometimes I have sugar-free root beer laying around that I drink, so I'll use a little bit more brown sugar just for that sweetness. And then I finish it off with a barbecue sauce that's either like this honey spice. Sometimes I use like a bourbon type of barbecue sauce. Always finish off with some beans. Always have some beans with your meat, right? Besides that, I mean, it's a pretty basic recipe. I kind of played with it. As I said, the initial recipe was off the Traeger app. If you're familiar with it, they have all different types of recipes, but then they have a community notes section, so people can put their notes, and it's pretty much thumbs up, thumbs down. So you kind of pull the ideas that have more thumbs up than thumbs down, and you can kind of tweak it and play with it. So that's kind of what I do. I still kind of tweak it a bit. I'm not at 100%. Like, here's my rib recipe. I don't measure things. I kind of just wing it, but every time they come out good. As long as I don't forget the seasoning, I get caught up with that mustard and stuff like that, and sometimes I forget the seasoning. Obviously, no bueno. But yeah, so if you have a smoker, you cook them on a regular grill in the oven. You'd have to obviously do different temperatures and stuff like that, but these ingredients I think would be good no matter how you cook it. So, if you end up trying it, let me know. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you enjoy. Have a good one.